With each passing cycle, the colony grew stronger. Shelters became cities. Power grids formed from electric ores. Crops, health systems, and knowledge centers flourished. But with stability came fear. What if someone else finds this world? Plasmora, though unnamed officially, was a paradise. And paradise attracts attention. Other fleets might still be out there, other species, other ambitions. The leaders convened. Security protocols were raised, and one directive was agreed upon: hide it. Artificial signals were broadcast across space, false data wrapped around the planet's atmosphere. To any outsider, Plasmora now looked unstable, its surface ravaged by radiation, storms, and chaos. No one would come looking. At least, that was the plan. Because for the first time since Earth, humanity had something to lose. They dug carefully, never too deep, never without caution, but even the shallow veins of Plasmora held secrets. In one cavern, beneath a quiet ridge, the scanners pinged, not on metal, but on rhythm. Electric currents, consistent, complex, and pulsing, embedded in the rock like veins of memory. The signals weren't natural. The AIs confirmed it. This was data, patterns encoded in charge, like circuitry, hidden inside the planet itself. What they found were messages, schematics, coordinates, warnings. The team was stunned. Plasmora wasn't just a planet with strange elements. It was remembering something, and the more they decoded, the more undeniable the truth became. Plasmora was not a natural world. It had been engineered, a constructed paradise, forged by a civilization long gone. At its heart, a plasma-fueled energy core mimicking a star, feeding the surface through a planetary grid of electric ores. Its resources weren't just abundant, they were self-replenishing, biobeasts designed to regenerate as food, medicinal plants tailored to adapt to any life form, oxygen stones, solid air that dissolved into breathable atmosphere. Even defense systems were buried deep, ensuring meteors landed gently, not destructively. And at the bottom of one long message, translated by both AI and human linguists, they found a single directive. This planet is a paradise for all space travelers. Do not monopolize it. The scientists were shaken, but the politicians silenced it. They buried the final instruction, hid it from the public. Plasmora was now theirs, they claimed. A gift, not a responsibility. Mining continued, but only at shallow levels. Because beneath the wonder was danger. The core, they realized, wasn't infinite. It was balanced. And digging too deep, disrupting that balance, could lead to instability, even detonation. So heavy excavation was banned, tunnels were sealed, a protective silence returned to the mines. But the truth remained. Humanity wasn't the first to land here. For a time, things were stable. Crops grew, cities expanded, children, cybernetic but curious, learned under bioluminescent trees. There was order, purpose, peace. But then, something broke through. The first crashed ship arrived like a whisper of death. No alarms, no weapons fired, just a smoldering husk streaking through the sky, and silence when it landed. Inside were human cyborgs, but not like those on Plasmora. Their designs were unfamiliar, more advanced, more refined. But every single body was charred from within, burned alive, without an external scratch. Their ship hadn't been attacked, it had been undone. No signs of who did it, no explanation, only dread. Then came another. It crashed violently into Plasmora's outer valley. No survivors at first glance, but from the wreckage, a few figures emerged, staggering, screaming, on fire. They were not cyborgs, not enhanced. They were pure humans, flesh and fear. No AI, no implants. They had survived by sheer chance, jumping out just before the ship was consumed. Their bodies were scorched, their movements barely human. One of them, before collapsing, spoke with a voice torn by pain and urgency. "How long have you been here?" "They're following us." "They've always been following." "They are coming." "They've been watching since the beginning." Then, even that final breath failed him. His body gave in, too far gone to save, and silence fell again. Plasmora, once a hidden paradise, now felt exposed, vulnerable. Because the most terrifying truth wasn't that someone was out there, it was that they had always been, watching, waiting, and now they were coming.